Okay, can we all hear?
Yep.
Do we
Yep.
sound okay on your end, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can
Cool.
y'all hear me?
Yes.
We always hear you. Unless I say you sound like you in the Matrix.
Let me get on camera. Get like. All right, y'all ready? All right. What episode is this? This is 20 what?
7.
All right. We are back with episode 27 of the EPB podcast. Normally when we come to you guys, we're all happy and laughing and joking. We got drinks on deck and we are ready to have a good time. But this is one of those few times where this episode is going to be on the more serious note. I like remember how Fonte used to always talk about the serious episodes of TV sitcoms. And you got the white dude come in. This is the what do you always say? Is and now for a special episode. And it's always like the rape victim or like somebody get propositioned to do drugs or some shit, you know. But this
After school special,
right.
PSA episode.
There you go. So, but this is gonna be one of our more serious episodes. We had to decide whether we wanted to tackle these issues or not, because everybody has truly been in their feelings here lately, and clearly it's understood. But we feel like it's something that needed to be done, and we're gonna try to tackle it as best we can. We're gonna give you our point of view because that's what you come here for. So, but how's everybody doing on this actually gorgeous Sunday afternoon? How you doing, Nisha?
I'm good. Just thankful that the week has reset, and I'm praying for some different circumstances, some relief, some release, a peace of mind. Just trying to kind of collect myself after last week. Just to start anew. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit better than last week. So that's how I'm doing. How are you doing, Bridget?
I'm doing. I'm just doing. Did y'all realize it was a short work week last week?
Yeah, it did not feel
It
like
did not feel like it.
Because that was the longest week
That was the longest
in
week
history.
ever. I was talking to my husband and I was like, "Do you realize we didn't work on Monday?" He was like, "We sure in the fuck didn't." I'm like, it's been a long week, and just like Anisha said, I'm just ready to reset and for better news this week. So let's keep our fingers crossed and pray to the good Lord that we have a better week.
Yes.
Joe, how you doing over there?
I'm good. It was a short week for y'all, but it was a normal week for me. So, working and all that shit. But yeah, last week was rough. It was rough, especially with everything that happened. I guess it was Friday night / early Saturday morning here in Houston. But we still here. So, as Tony Montana would say, every day above ground is a good day. So. Of course, he got shot a week later because he didn't do that hit job. That's another story. But we're just living. So
Yeah. I'm kind of excited to do the episode. Get this off our chest. I don't think it'll die or this feeling will go away anytime soon. Not until we find out what's actually going to happen to the individuals involved, and we know that's going to take forever today because they're going to drag that shit out as long as they can. We'll find new evidence. They'll concoct evidence. I'm just waiting for all angles to play out, see what's going to happen. But I'm trying to stay optimistic. Got a new job, but don't tell nobody. But, even with the new job, it just kind of like killed my vibe. Like I can't even really be happy about it right now. So much work to be done, but. We're gonna jump right in. We're gonna take a quick break. I hope these musical selections for this particular episode uplift your spirit or just kind of get you in that mood. We'll be right back.
After these messages.
right back. Harambe.
I need you to calm this shit the fuck down, okay? Because that was right in my ears. I was not ready for you and that fucking foolishness, okay? So, while I appreciate you trying to lift the mood, that was not the way to go about it, okay?
You lifted our eardrums. Thanks.
Shit.
I didn't think I was that loud. I moved away from
Hell yes.
Yeah, man, you was a little loud.
You know, do one of them James Harden eye rolls.
Man. That's it.
Nigga, it's ridiculous. I look at the Embroji, the little app where you use the gifts. Man, they have a whole little section set eyebrows.
Yes.
They got Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, they show. Look, I got that shit on my phone too. I love that joint.
Doing the eye.
They got who?
Thomas the Tank Engine. This one of them little fucked up. This when his eyes roll around.
Roll around. Okay.
So what kind of eye roll is this shit?
I love that Ebroji. I use that on all my messages.
Mm-hmm.
Love that joint.
Twitter actually has some good gifts
They
too.
do.
They do.
I'm surprised.
Oh shit!
Your carrot cake. I thought you said you had put a timer on it.
He did 20 minutes. It didn't need 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
You can use the pan handles on the other counter.
Yeah.
Is
I'm
it?
glad you remember because I know I forget.
I wouldn't think of that.
But
We waiting on Ted.
2 seconds.
You said do the segment?
It's not 2 seconds.
Oh, 2 seconds. I was gonna say. I've had them before. Did they pack it like that for you?
that's how I bought it.
Oh no, that's for new people. I saw. Was Wolf Creek out there?
Who is that?
They're not the people that do popcorn. They do the hot one though,
Oh, okay.
like the hot popcorn.
Yeah, he did.
Look at you. You did
I
good.
did.
They had this one, the hot one, a barbecue sauce. Barbecue spice one. I forgot the fourth one.
Rendezvous has a barbecue spice popcorn. It's the worst shit I've ever tasted in my life.
Goddamn rendezvous.
Come on, Ray. When you go walk out, they look clean. Look.
Your mom did what?
She raised me when you go walk out, they she's clean. Look.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Shout out to Mom. Mom Deuce. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you.
Thank you, Mom. It's
4-star.
Right over underneath that other cabinet, that drawer over there. I have big forks and
Where you
little
want
forks.
to go?
No, I'm good. I don't eat carrot cake.
You gonna love this one.
You allergic to carrot cake?
I just don't like it.
You don't like carrot cake? Well, I do.
That's a big ass piece of carrot cake.
This is a big ass piece. This shit good.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Oh, nigga.
Jay Alexander.
Jay Alexander's has great carrot cake. That has been duly noted.
I heard that macaroni and cheese pretty fire too. I ain't had it last
I
time.
ain't had that. That's good to know.
You know who I heard got the bomb macaroni and cheese?
Who?
Costco.
What?
I went to DC and was having dinner with my boy Ronnie. You know Ronnie Newman.
Mm-hmm.
And then another guy that we cool with lives up there. But he was telling me a story about how every time they had family dinners, his auntie would bring this macaroni. And every time they have family dinner, everybody be like, "Oh, she got the macaroni, her shit fine."
She kind of
And for 5 years, they have not known that she been picking that shit up from Costco and heating that shit up at home and they put it in her own pan. Until one day, her husband was there and they was like, man, yo, like, macaroni be off the chain. I mean, it's like so cheesy. I've never had anything like it. He was like, she got this shit in Costco. Everybody was like, what? And so my partner said every month they gonna give a pan of macaroni Costco. He said it's already pre-made. You just gotta put it up and heat it. Yeah, that shit's so good. He said it's ridiculous.
Don't make me go to Costco and get some damn macaroni and cheese.
That's funny.
Are we doing Alton Sterling first?
Yeah. Oh, y'all ready?
Sorry.
Nigga, I want to know how we still got the giggles with something so serious.
Right.
I thought we was gonna be somber. She could be like, okay.
You know, we still gonna be tripping. But this still some bullshit.
Yeah. And we are back, and we're gonna just go ahead and jump into our first topic. And I don't even want to like declare this first one the barbecue pit, because I feel like the theme of the show is going to be all the controversy that has happened in this week, which was Hell Week. I feel like we got hazed out the fucking frame. So the first story we want to talk about is with Alton Sterling. Let's see, that was Tuesday morning in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Alton Sterling became a victim of excessive force by the Baton Rouge Police Department. And the story goes that Alton was outside of a convenience store selling CDs. And an anonymous source or anonymous call, which turned out, as reports have speculated, a homeless person who had approached Alton for some money, and he was like, no, and the guy was persistent. Now, as a person who lives in a urban city with a definite issue of homelessness, sometimes homeless people can be like downright belligerent. They can be threatening. And, you know, if the guy, according to stories, he was persistent. Okay, well then persistent means that he was fucking with him. Like that to me would mean that there was an imminent threat from this person. So Alton was carrying something to protect himself. Like, hey dude, like back up off me. So the homeless man put in a call stating that he had been threatened with a gun. And so the police, doing their job, went out to investigate. But what ensued after that is not their job. And we are left with our first casualty of the week, which was Alton Sterling. So I'm just going to open up the floor before I give my take on the matter as to, I mean, I know what we're all feeling, but just your moment to say what it is that you want to say. So whoever wants to go first. Everybody looking at, I guess everybody looking at Bridget, because Bridget got so much, you can just see, and Bridget is like, I feel like with every situation, Bridget gonna be like, I'm ready, give it to me, it's on.
Pass me the ball, coach.
Put me in, coach, put me in.
Okay. I'm gonna try to keep this short, but I was in my group chat. I have two group chats. One with my lovely people here, and another with close friends of mine. And my friend who is dating somebody from Baton Rouge knows Alton Sterling. They were in the same neighborhood. They were raised in the same neighborhood, and her kids also knew him as well. So because he's, you know, well known in the neighborhood, he's been selling CDs in front of this store for quite some time. And she brought it up to us that her oldest son showed the youngest son the video of him being shot. And she was just really upset and traumatized because she really didn't want him to see the video. The kids are 16 and 11. And she was just like, I don't know how to approach this subject. And I guess she brought it to the group chat, how we should, you know, what should she do? And of course, we were all for a loss for words because I haven't even seen the video. But I was just like, dude, you just gotta, talk to them about what's going on, and you just gotta talk to them. I mean, it's unfortunate that we have to have this conversation. And I put in my group chat, it's fucked up that we gotta have this conversation as Black parents, but you have to have the conversation. And she was like, just on a relatability part of it, him seeing that and knowing that person, it fucked him up. That really, really fucked him up. And she was just like, I don't even know how to approach it with that point, that somebody that he knew got shot by the damn police unnecessarily, of course. So I just want to approach it from this standpoint. Like, we have to have this conversation with our children, not just our sons, but our daughters too. Because Sandra Bland, we still don't know what the fuck happened to her. Rakia Boyd. I mean, we just have to have these conversations with our kids. And that shit just burns me up. Because I have a son too, who's 5. And it was hard this week to just avoid having that conversation with him because he sees us watching it on the news. And he, thankfully my husband was just like, it's bad people all around us, and even bad cops can be bad people too. And that's just far as we took it with him being 5. But just to know that we're going to have to keep having this conversation over and over and over again. And that's probably going to break his spirit, period. That people out here in the world, even the people that are supposed to protect us, that's what they're supposed to do. Protect and serve all people, not just the white ones, everybody. They may kill you for no apparent reason. Just because you Black, just because you're threatening, quote unquote, just because you have a gun or not have a gun. I mean, it makes me so upset. I can sit here and cry about it right now. So I mean, this just basically where I want to take it. Just that we have to have these conversations with our kids, and this shit is not fair. It's not fucking fair. Every time I see something about this on the news, I'm like, damn, I got to experience this shit all over again. So I'll leave it open. Somebody talk.
I'll take it. I think the rough part is, what conversation do you have? Because we've seen situations where police have been able to disarm individuals who have done far worse things than just selling fucking CDs, and they've been able to disable individuals and get them into custody alive. And it just seems like no matter what happens in these situations, and it doesn't happen in all situations, let's just say that, but far too often we see that there's a fundamental difference between the way Blacks are policed and whites are policed. And I was having a conversation with some like friends of mine, which is it's tiring, but it ended with me saying, like, you have no idea what it feels like to have to experience this on a daily basis, like to worry about that. Like when that situation happened and when you saw it on the news, not one single white person sat back and said, oh my God, now I have to be careful where I carry my gun, or I have to be careful what I do. You don't have to worry about that. That doesn't affect you like it does us. And so it's just something that they can't understand. But when you talk about the conversation that has to be had, like, what do you say? What do you say to the child who watches the video and sees that that this man did not? I mean, he did nothing. They had him restrained on his back. Somebody was kneeling on his back. Like, where is he going?
Right.
You got 2 dudes on your back. If anything, if you need to restrain him or disable him, you have a taser, you have mace, you have multiple options that you could use before you actually have to pull your gun. But it just seems far too often in these cases, the gun is the first thing we go for. And I think it goes back to the way, we're portrayed in the media. Like, we're all dangerous. And I always say this all the time, and a friend of mine noticed it too, but to my friends that I hang out with that are white, I'm safe. Like they see me as a safe black person.
You the safe Negro.
Like one of them always, as an educator, one of them always says that, you know, Ted, you give me hope because you know you're doing so much good. But in my mind, I know what that means.
You the good nigga.
That means I'm a good nigga. That means I give you hope that all us niggas ain't crazy and we ain't all out here killing each other. You know what I mean? And it's sad, but that's just the way, you know, things have been set up. In this case, again, what else could he have done? He was restrained. And if you watch the video, you hear 2 shots, and then there's a pause, and then multiple shots are fired after that. Like after the first 2 shots, where's he going? You had him on the ground already. You shot him, he ain't getting up. I'm pretty sure if he was carrying a gun, it was either a minimum of 40 caliber. 2 rounds of 40 calibers in your chest, you are not going nowhere. And then you fire 3 or 4 more rounds after that. I mean, you can't tell me it's not excessive. But then what infuriates me is that when you're asked about it, you say that you felt you were justified. I mean, and you know, I hate to jump ahead, but you know, now we got all this other stuff going on. But I haven't said this out loud, but I'm sure everybody's thinking it. But what do you expect from a group of people who are falsely policed, harassed, and have to deal with this on a daily basis? What do you expect after a while? What do you think they're gonna do? David Banner had a video floating around on Facebook that was really interesting because he said there are 2 things that white people will respect or listen to. Only 2 things. The first is loss of finance, and the other is loss of life. Until one of the other 2 happen, he said they don't listen. And I mean, and I'm not a proponent of violence, but what do you expect people to do after a while? After a while, when they watch videos where people are clearly being murdered on camera, and we go to a justice system that says they're justified, and it doesn't happen not once, not twice, not 3 times, but 4, 5, 6 times.
7 times in the last 2 years that we know of more notable cases.
Right.
These people will be justified in killing, and then you know, these kids, adults, whoever, there'll be another hashtag or a face on a t-shirt, and that's it. And their family got to live with it. You know, if that was white kids, it wouldn't be happening. There would be a fundamental change in the way police are trained. It wouldn't happen. And so it's just sad that what do you expect the people to do when they watch as their family and friends are being murdered and nothing is being done? After a while, you start becoming enraged. And what happens after that? People black out. The dude in DC, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with shooting police because, I mean, not all police are bad. Those might have been good guys. They got families at home, people at home that lean on them and depend on them. And just like Alton's son was crying on camera, you got the kids of those police officers gonna be crying too. I mean, so it doesn't solve anything. But again, America caused this. You let it happen. Not once, not twice, but like Nisha said, 7 times. Somebody up top has to step in and say, you know what, this is getting out of hand. We're creating a system that's forcing people to become radicals. And the last thing, and I'm gonna be done. But I was watching another video too, and these people were talking about how America kind of like perpetuates this radical feeling in their minorities in this country. But it's like the guy gave an example. He said, if you have a kid who's Muslim who grew up here in America and he grew up Muslim, and then you got a guy like Donald Trump who's running for president who's bashing Muslims and saying, you know, we need to put them all on a register and monitor them, and we can't let any more in because they're dangerous. Like, this kid grew up in this country, feels like he's an American. He's listening to this guy who possibly could be his next president say these things about his people. How hard do you think it would be for a group like ISIS to radicalize their kid now? Not very hard at all, especially when he goes to school and people are looking at him differently now, and you know, he's being treated differently when he goes places like the airport. We set this up. We set it up. We're supposed to be the big melting pot. We ain't really no big melting pot. We like to pick out what we want in our soup. Take the onions out. Get rid of these tomatoes over here. You know? I'm saying, but
I don't like that. I don't eat that. That ain't for me. I'm allergic.
Right.
Whatever.
So I mean, good old America. I feel like it hadn't been long ago that we had this same conversation about Mike Brown. I think we did a show about Mike Brown a while back, creeping up on a year ago, because it was in August of 2015, I think.
2014.
14, yeah. I mean, so I don't know. It's sad.
We did see you last year.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, and it was almost a year ago right now. We were talking about Sandra Bland on the show.
Yep.
So I mean, that's coming up if it's not here already. And yeah, you were talking about Muslims, Ted. We were talking about Ahmed on the show.
Mm-hmm.
You know, making that clock and you know, right outside of Dallas. So, you know, what killed me about the situation, I mean, there was a lot of stuff, but what got to me was it was two cops on Alton Sterling, and they were big boys. I mean, they weren't small guys, and they had him restrained, and they fired on him at point blank range. I mean, the gun was literally a couple of feet away from his chest, and they just murdered him execution style, like it was nothing. Yeah, I mean, no, no nothing, just you know, bang, 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 and then pause and shot again. I mean, that was just that. I mean, I just had a bunch of emotions behind it, and then to see his son, you touched on his son at the press conference the day after, and I mean, the mom's up there trying to, you know, talk, and the son is just bawling his eye, crying for his daddy. You know, all he wanted was his dad. His daddy was out trying to, you know, trying to make a living, trying to sell CDs. His daddy could have been doing any number of things, you know. And that leads me to, I guess, my final point, because I'm gonna make it short. But people in the media, and of course, people on social media, you know, Twitter, Facebook, or whatever, have this habit of when these shootings happen, is they want to dig up people's criminal history, as if that had any bearing to do with a cop restraining a guy and firing bullets in his chest at point blank range. You know, whatever happened in Alton Sterling's past, as far as his criminal history goes, that was in his past. There's no need to bring up stuff that happened in 1998. This is 2016. You know, we're dealing with what happened the day of the incident. The day of the incident, police were called. He was tased. Everything's on camera. You know, they held him down. You know, so, quote unquote, he had a gun, quote unquote. Didn't find a gun, or the gun was in his pocket, or whatever. There's still a bunch of BS behind that. But the point is, they had him restrained and they fired bullets in his chest. You know, and so you have to deal with what happened. I mean, you know, I know we'll talk about, you know, I guess the other one of the other shootings this week, which still gets to me because we're describing it as one of the other shootings, and you know, but that's another story. But you know, when we talk about, you know, the cops and these killings happen, and some of these people don't have criminal records. You know, there's no previous mug shots. So what's your argument for that? You know, there is no justification. There's no justification. Even if he had just got out of jail for, you know, shooting up a golf course, some shit like that, it has no justification for cops to hold this guy down, and shoot him execution style. You know, even when prisoners get executed, you know, firing squad, they're 50 yards away. They're not 2 feet away from them. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it was real inhumane. It was real fucked up, and you know, I mean, prayers out to his family, and you know, and the sad part is not one, because it was in Louisiana, and two, because it was a cop thing. Probably nothing will ever happen with it. And this is the other thing, you know, my last point. We're so desensitized to these situations because we know that, you know, all the evidence is there. They're going to have a trial. 9 times out of 10, they're going to get acquitted, and they're going to go back to their jobs. You know, it's just, the whole thing is just frustrating. So, Nisha, what you got?
Well, listening to everyone, I'm like Bridget. I've not watched videos at all this week. I feel like that's not going to help. Like, me seeing something that I know happens and has been happening, and you know, I think in my mind, I was just reeling off of like the hearings with the Freddie Gray cases, and just thinking about that, and thinking about, like, I can't, but I do try and put my head in the mindset of the families, like that kind of grief that kind of hurt. Like my mom used to say, it's a different type of grief if someone dies, like if they're sick or something, versus if someone's life is taken by someone else. Like that's a whole different type of grief that person goes through, that family goes through. And this man, like, and I was just like sitting here listening to everyone, and we're thinking about it, and we're talking about that. It makes me go back to thinking about Chauncey and thinking about what he could have been doing and what someone decided to see in him versus why we couldn't see that in Alton. Why we couldn't see that as an individual trying to provide a way for his family. Like, oh, he's selling CDs. What do you? Are you assuming they're bootleg CDs? Like, we don't. First, we don't even know what kind of CDs he's selling. But all of a sudden, that's not the life he's supposed to be living. He's supposed to have a job. What kind of job is selling CDs? A legal job? I mean, he could be doing something different, or it could be that a system that's designed to not let him or allow him to succeed is keeping him down, and he's just trying to find a way out of no way. Which, that's what we always do. Like we always have been a people to find a way out of no way. My grandmama could have like a loaf of bread. She could MacGyver that shit into a full course meal. Okay. Like that's what we do. We survive. But I'm telling you, it comes a point where there is a breaking point where people are tired of trying to survive. Especially if I look over and I see my counterpoint who got less education than me, less sense than I do, less whatever, making it ahead of me. It's kind of like, what's the point? What's the difference? Oh, it's my skin color. That's the difference. And that's in most cases the only difference. Why is it that my skin is threatening? Why is it that my color is threatening? Don't y'all say that because I'm beige. I'm just saying.
It don't matter. They still.
It don't matter. At the end of the day, I am. I'm a black girl. A black man shot by a white cop. How many times have you seen that headline?
Man.
How many times? And we keep having the conversation about excessive force. And every time we have the conversation about excessive force and the fact that Black Lives Matter, we always got to hear this bullshit on the other end. Well, all lives matter. Bitch, ain't nobody said that. I'm so tired of the breakdown of what Black Lives Matter means versus all lives matter and how just fucked up that shit is. Because if all lives matter, we wouldn't be having this fucking conversation to begin with. Like, I'm over it. It's frustrating. But to the point of Alton, it's just not right. It's just not right. But us discussing it is only helping us. It won't help the family. It's not helping them with their grief. It's not helping the it's not helping the conversation. It's not helping the progression. I don't care how many times a black person tries to educate a white person or other person on the term of Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter. That shit is getting convoluted and it's getting lost. And the more we talk about it, I feel like we turning blue in the face. Shit, we will be blue. Then will we matter?
Blue lives matter.
Will we matter then? I'm just saying, like, will we matter at that point? I think that, and to end it, because I feel like I got more for our next one than I do for this one, because this one is just all too familiar. It's all too prevalent. It happens all the fucking time. I saw something where people said that, or it was on Twitter, and it was like a Twitter clip of, people choose to be cops. We don't choose to be black. So the fact that you're saying Blue Lives Matter is totally disrespectful to the point of Black Lives Matter, because we didn't choose to be black. But you chose to be a cop. Like, you can change that. You can become a pediatrician. I wouldn't want you operating on me if fucking with me, but you have a choice.
You can bag groceries at Walmart.
I don't want you bagging my shit, because if you throw my shit down at the fucking my eggs come up cracked, right? But you just gotta, like, I'm over the conversation of Blue Lives Matter. I'm over the dismissal of the fact that Black Lives Matter. I'm sick and tired of it. Like, before I leave this one though, shout out to Issa Rae for starting that GoFundMe for the children of Alton Sterling, because she said that she was just tired, but she wanted to do something, and she knew that it wouldn't make much of a difference, but it did. And the outpouring, I went on there, and I'm a lurker. There were celebrities giving $500,000. Issa was giving out for each one. She was matching that shit. I was like, wow, come on through. And she recognized that it was not going to replace their father, and by no means she just wanted to do something because her heart willed her to do something. So shout out to you. We definitely love you and appreciate you. Appreciate people like you. You know, just thank you. So.
Any more thoughts?
I don't
Man.
know.
I mean, we got some more, but
Shit.
to just close it out.
To all the cops out there, if you don't like your job, like please don't do it. Please find another for you. Just like Nisha said, like I work in education. When I went to school, you know, I didn't know exactly what I was getting myself into, but I knew it was a lot of stuff that I possibly could be exposed to. Crazy parents. My second year in education, I had to damn near wrestle a dude to the ground who was on campus drunk to pick up his daughter.
Damn.
And we wouldn't release her to him because we knew we could smell he was drunk and he didn't need to be driving around the car. Like in the mind, we almost went to blows and then he left. I mean, when I signed my contract, I didn't think about stuff like that, but I know that it possibly could be part of the job.
But you do your job.
And I do my job anyway. When you sign to be a police officer, you know the shit's hard. You know it's dangerous. You know you might have to take a couple shots being thrown your way. It's part of the job. I mean, no other job do they give you bulletproof vests and a 9mm. So you know your job is tough. And I'm not dissing anything that y'all do or trying to diminish how hard your job is because we know how hard it is.
Yes, and
but
we
because
appreciate
but because it's hard, don't mean that you need to overexert your authority and force in every situation to keep yourself safe.
That's the reason why y'all are trained every year and y'all go to those conferences and stuff because things come up. So and I'm sure they do the police officers the same way. So I'm out of fucking excuses for cops. I'm out of them.
Let's get back. I want to see the days we get back to real policing where you get out of the car and walk around the neighborhood and get to know the people that you in the neighborhood that you police. Like it's easy to ride around your car all day and field calls and then go home. But man, when you get to know the people in your neighborhood, then you'll see them start trusting you. People don't trust nobody they don't know. Especially when they 5-0. And that's just real talk.
Mm-hmm. No, black folks don't trust the cops.
All right.
For nothing.
All right, we're going to round this on out and we'll be back.
We on pace for an album.
We might be. We keep talking like we talking. I don't know. I'm serious. I'm so angry. It's frustrating. Like to even like talk about this and talk about. But the one with Phil, I can't wait for that one. I just want to know what kind of excuses. And then we don't make it no better because I've seen people talk about the girlfriend. She's so calm. Bitch, is there a certain way you're supposed to act?
With a nigga at the window with a gun, like she's supposed to be wilding out.
Right.
The nigga had the guns. He still had the gun pointed in the car.
And her child is in the back seat. How are you supposed to act? First off, that's strong as a motherfucker.
Man, I
probably would have melted like goddamn chocolate. I would have been down like a puddle in the. I would have been like, oh.
To even for her to have the foresight to be like, let me put this on Facebook Live.
Like she was smart. Like,
that was smart as hell. I wouldn't even been thinking about that.
But then she had the wherewithal. She narrated that motherfucker, and she was calm.
Yes.
She was like, "Oh my god, please, officer, please tell me you're just not shooting kill my boyfriend." Like she was calm. I would have been like,
I was right,
like,
panicking.
The mind would, and then when the mind, like on the video when he leaned to the side and stopped moving, I would lost.
I ain't seen that.
No, you don't want to watch that.
I think that the fact that media has been using the clip or the thumbnail of him dead, and I'm just like, you so fucking disrespectful.
Because the family got to look at this shit every day.
That's just like with the Alton Sterling video. Like I can't watch it because it's.
Right.
Because I was thinking like if it was my dad, I can't even deal with the fact that my dad is gone and he died of natural causes or, as natural as can be. But to just have people watching that and I'm internalizing my own grief at the fact that he's not here, but other people, and that would make me angry. All these people can all of a sudden have a say about
to watch the demise of my father.
Yeah. Like, how can you?
Right.
What?
And if nothing don't break your heart on that video, when that little girl was on the backseat and the mama was screaming, like towards the end, like when the daddy finally stopped moving and the mama kind of lost it, the baby was on the backseat, was like, "Mama, I'm here with you. Why you crying?" Like she said something like, "Why you crying? I'm here with you." Like, my girl, she didn't watch the video either. And then she said she heard his doors on the back seat. She was like, "Nah, no, I can't watch because I'd be the person."
I'd be losing my mind. And for a cop to not have any,
he was just screaming.
Dude,
like
He was just screaming.
this is how he was holding up.
Yeah.
He was scared.
He was scared.
Like
He was terrified.
that's the type of police you don't need. He was shaking the whole time. His hand was just shaking that hard, like holding the gun, dude. And the girl was just like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And he just don't move. I said, "Don't move." I said, "Don't move." He was like, he was getting this. I did what you asked for.
Right.
Shit, crazy.
All right, we ready?
Look.
Ready as we gonna be.
I'm gonna be like that. I read that post. This girl said, if I get put on by police, just know I complied. And if I die, I got my permission to burn this motherfucker down. Y'all got my permission to burn this motherfucker down. Man.
it was on this year.
Yeah, man. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Y'all want people what we gonna go in first? So what I had to say.
We can do that. That might be better for future too.
Joy, you wanna go first?
After Bridget does her
Yeah.
intro, you want to go first?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and we'll just
Go in a circle.
yeah. That usually is how we do it. But
Yeah.
Still.
All right. And we are back. And we're just moving right along. And we're gonna talk about Philando Castile. And we're gonna call him Phil for short. And not even 24 hours after we heard about Alton Sterling, Phil was shot in St. Paul, Minnesota. I was gonna say Minneapolis. Lord help me, Minnesota. And his girlfriend. Well, they were pulled over because of a broken tail light, which happened to not be broken. And the girlfriend, Diamond, what's her first name? Lavish Reynolds. She just happened to pull out her phone.
Whoa. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you heard right.
Diamond Lavish Reynolds.
Lavish Diamond Reynolds.
Oh, Lavish Diamond Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes by Diamond Reynolds, though, right?
Correct.
She's a very smart woman.
All right.
Go ahead.
And she just happened to pull out her phone and decided to put the incident on Facebook Live, which, child, I wouldn't even had the foresight to even think that far. Hell, we couldn't even figure out how to work Facebook Live at the damn concert. But anyway, that's another story. She happened to capture the murder on Facebook Live when the cop shot Philando in the chest, and their 4-year-old just happened to be in the back seat. Philando was a cafeteria manager at a local school. He was loved by everyone, even the kids, even the parents. He happened to know all the kids who had food allergies. He knew everybody that had a food allergy and what they were allergic to without even looking at the sheet. It was like 500 students or something. He did not have a history of this don't even make a difference, but I'm just bringing this shit up because people, they try, when folks get shot, they try to find shit on them, and they really couldn't find anything on this guy. He was just an upstanding guy. So let's just go. Just go.
Well, I mean, like you said, Bridget, he was an upstanding guy. I mean, all the kids at the school loved him. Parents loved him. He was loved in that particular part of the community, and you can tell that just by the outpouring. Kids, making cars for him and leaving them at a little, makeshift memorial for him. He told the cop he had a gun on him. He had his concealed handgun license. He did everything right, and he still was murdered. in front of his girlfriend and in front of the daughter. You know, we still hadn't heard a word from the NRA about this. You know, usually when, you know, they're the first ones to champion, gun control and, for the Second Amendment and this, that, or the other. Well, this guy, he did everything by the book that you would want to have done as far as him being a gun owner. And it didn't help. He told the cop he had a gun before, when he was pulled over. He was registered with the state of Minnesota for having a gun, for being able to possess a concealed handgun. He did everything right, and it still didn't help. And we talk about hypocrisy, and it's like people want to bend the rules for them when it's convenient for them. People want to further their agenda when it's convenient for them, but not for everybody. It's only in certain situations. And we talked about before, the girlfriend to have the wherewithal to even put this on Facebook Live, while all of this was going on. I couldn't tell you how many times I've been, pulled over, sometimes rightly, back in the past for speeding or whatever. And, sometimes just because I was black driving in part of town or whatever. But I never thought about putting it on like Instagram or Snapchat or Facebook or whatever, So, my main thing was to just, say yes, sir, no, sir, give them my license and hope I'm able to drive away. But just for her to do that, was just really kind of speaks to her courage and, just prayers out to the family and to everybody that knew him. And, it was just a sad situation. And the video, the tail light wasn't even broken. So, it's just frustrating.
Nisha?
I think my only concern outside of the fact that Phil was your quote unquote your good nigga. He lived right, he lived by the rules, he was able to obtain a permit to carry, notify the officer that he had the permit and that he was carrying a concealed weapon, and was obliging with the stop, even though it was unjust that they were having the stop in the first place. That there is no reaction from the conservatives about, his rights or why his life doesn't matter anymore. And furthermore, I am so fucking pissed off at the media. Not that I didn't expect anything less from you guys, but to dig up the fact that he had 63 traffic stops.
Who had?
So, I mean, what that got to do with
getting shot for no reason?
Right. For no reason. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Absolutely, positively nothing. And the ignorance of, there's a lot of Facebook friends lost. Really don't care. I've been holding my tongue for a very long time because I do have white friends, and I'm trying to respect where you guys come from. But I mean, the shit has gotten really out of hand. But we go follow that up with the next segment. But my only real frustration with this particular situation is that you have no justification, none. Alton looks scary. I don't know why. Maybe it's the goals. Maybe it's the fact that he's big. Maybe I can try and find the logic in that, even though I don't think that is relevant to the point or the matter of the reason why. But for Phil, you got this relatively small gentleman in stature who's complying with you wholeheartedly, who's doing everything by the letter of the law, who's attempting to have the same rights as whites, but they just don't apply to him. So when people again talk about the all lives matter, because I like bringing this up because I just want to kind of bring this on home. They didn't matter for him because you guys get to have those rights, but we don't. So that's my. I'm just slowly trying to poke holes in this because there's really no logic. And the more I talk about this, and if we do have listeners, that felt that all lives matter, they don't. And until you become a part of the situation, I can guarantee you, Austin didn't think he was going to be a casualty. Phil didn't think he was going to be a casualty. No one ever feels like it's going to happen to them, but it is real life. Like, I worry every time my husband walks out this house, when he goes out to enjoy himself, that somebody is going to pick him and be like, it's you. Mm-hmm. I thought that's you. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, it's really, y'all really have got to, like, y'all don't understand. And then for the women, it's always got to be a sister that is like so fucking left with her feminism. Like, sister, realize that they're not marching and fighting for you. It ain't about us right now. That doesn't mean that our lives are not inclusive. They're not. But it's not about us right now. It's about Phil. It's about Alton. It's about our men, because they're being targeted. I can fight my own fight. I've been fighting my own fight. That's a different conversation for a different time, but that's how you continue to, like, we need to come together. Like, we really need to come together. Don't use this opportunity to exploit your platform. Use this opportunity to band together, and we can come together and talk about our differences after we get over this first huddle. We're never going to get over the first huddle if we keep dividing ourselves. So, like, keep that shit out of the paint right now. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but keep that shit out the paint, because that too much time wasted doing that. Because while we're doing that and we're breaking it down and saying, well, you know, well, they don't care about us like that. Okay, then you deal with that. You talk about that. You have that dialogue. You have that conversation, but not right now. Right. Not in the open. Not out, because I guarantee you that's what white people are looking for to happen.
Vision.
My nigga.
Say it again. That's
so it's just, I know it's one of those things like, I can't believe you said that, but that's the reality of it. Like, that's seriously the reality of it. Yes, we don't get the same respect, but we all kind of in this boat together. You either go use that fucking or we all go sing together. Mm-hmm. So you need to make up your mind exactly what it is you want to do. So, okay, I'm through.
Well,
Teddy Jam.
Turn up Ted.
Man, I'm like Nisha. When people bring up the all lives matter thing, I can't do anything but shake my head, because now one single white person again stops and thinks and watches that video and says to themselves, that could be me. That's not your word. And then on that, every black mama in the continental U.S. was calling their baby to find out where he was and to tell him to be safe. My mom called me, and the first thing she said was, Tedrick, now I know you're gonna be mad when I say this, but I don't want you to wear your gun anymore. Because I take my gun everywhere. I keep it concealed. Nobody really knows, but I always got my gun with me. But my mom watched that video, and the first thing she thought about was, that could be my son, because she knows I'm gonna comply. She knows I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. But what do you tell my mom when she watches a video where a young man did exactly what he was supposed to and he still ended up dead? What do you tell my mom? And so that's why all lives don't matter, because if you white, you know, white boys got rifles in the back of their truck. They go hunting and mudding. I hear deer hunting. They got shotguns. Man, pistols for that. And man, talk bad to the police. They can do whatever they want, and they don't have their word. And that's why all lives don't matter. For Philando, I mean, I thought it was heartbreaking. The thing that really got me in his situation was, aside from the fact that his daughter was on the back seat, it was hearing the kids from his school talk about him, mm-hmm. and how such an awesome person he was. I mean, one little boy got and talked about how nice he was in the cafeteria, and he always gave kids extra food if they were hungry. Like, come on, dog. He was out here doing good. And I mean, that really makes you mad. Like, and when you see young white kids, that's the awesome thing that I love, because kids don't see color. They just know Austin as the cool dude in the cafeteria who was hooking me up with food, you know? And to see these kids, like, they were losing it because his man was gone. And, you know, I hate that he had to be a martyr, but if anybody had to be a martyr, I think that's a perfect place to start, because that's an avenue for those parents to have to sit down and discuss this issue with their kids to explain that, hey, because he was black, he was targeted by the police, you know, and black people deal with those things in this country. That's a perfect place to start the conversation with your kids, because I hope this next generation of white kids or future adults can understand and kind of, you know, understand the plight of the black man and woman in this country. Because right now they don't really understand. I think they like to be ignorant to it, and it makes them comfortable to not have to face it. I made a Facebook post earlier this week that kind of rubbed a few people the wrong way, but I talked about how, you know, when we got terrorist attacks in Paris, we're shooting guerrillas, or specifically here in Memphis, we're trying to save the Greens Ward, which is a big ass lawn that white people don't want people parking their cars on.
Right.
Like, people
Got
will band
signs
together
and
for that.
shit.
They will put up signs. They will flood your Facebook timeline with all that bullshit.
Using paper
Man,
from the environment that you're trying to
It's
protect.
right.
Okay.
but
All kinds of signs.
Your
But-
grassroots effort.
but a black man loses his life and then there's silence. And so when I made that post, one of my friends, she's white, and I'm gonna tell you, she's cool as hell. Like, you know, I don't think she's racist by any means. I've been in her house multiple times, hung out with her and her husband, and they've been victims of prejudice before. Her husband is from Israel. They actually went to Bar Louie one time, and they got into it with the waiter, and the waiter went back and told his manager that they threatened the place with a bomb, had them escorted out. So I know that she understands what it feels like to be discriminated against. Yes. But she commented on my page when I made the post about, you know, where were all my, you know, my white friends, you know, who support everything else, where were they now? And she said that, you know, well, maybe we're just, you know, confused and we're trying to, you know, understand the situation, and we're just as sad as everyone else. And I get that. I get you're sad.
But
And
say it.
Right. I got you were sad when the terrorist attacks happened in Paris, but you wasted no time changing your Facebook profile picture to the colors of the flag with your face on it. You
In
know,
a country that don't respect you as an American, I just need that to be known. They don't give a fuck
Exactly.
about you.
exactly.
They don't give a fuck.
You know,
about
I mean, we quick to run to a cause of everybody else, but the people you work with side by side every day, whose kids' pictures you like, you know, who you go to lunch with at work. I mean, you can't say nothing. Like, there's absolutely something you can say. You can say it's wrong. And the one thing I want people to understand, especially white people, is that this doesn't change until everybody realizes it's bad. That it shouldn't happen. Black people can be mad all day long.
We've been mad.
We've been mad. And you see where it's gotten us. No justice. We're still fighting for the same, you know, trying to get the same justice that we've been trying to get since God knows when. And it still hadn't come. But until your people realize that it's wrong and you decide to stand up and say, hey, if they have to deal with injustice, then we all have to deal with injustice. Until that happens, we're going to be in the same situation. That's why it's important for white people to stand up and say, you know what? We got to band together. A homeboy of mine sent me an article, and I'm going to send it to y'all later on. We can tweet this article too, but it was an article that a friend of his wrote. She's a photographer, and she takes pictures of the kids. But she did an article, and it's called I think it's like Black People, I Don't Want to Be Your Ally. But it's actually a really good article. It's talking about how you know, white people are always so all of a sudden always so silent when these things happen, and it's important that they speak up. And she goes like through this long list of things. I'll give it to Bridget. You can post it on the Twitter page.
Okay.
But it's an awesome article. But other than that, man, I just, you know, I hate we here again, and I hate in his case, in Philando's case. I mean, damn, we might get everything right.
Everything.
That's the thing. So it's like, now what's your excuse? We do everything right. We do everything by the law. We do everything by the book. Everything you say we should have been doing with Alton, with Trayvon, with Eric Gardner,
With Sandra Bland.
With Sandra
She's
Bland,
too
so we're-
mouthy.
too mouthy. So we comply. We do everything right. But our rights, we still don't have the same rights as you. And then you wonder why we say Black Lives Matter. I think it's just troubling, kind of scary, kind of scared that it's the end of the world if Newt Gingrich starts to agree with niggas. You know, like I don't know if y'all got that.
I saw it.
I dropped my phone when I read that.
I was like, who? We got two newts.
Like Kevin Hart said, it's about to go down. Nigga. I was like, I read and I was like, what?
Right.
You would have niggas come and quote newts and niggas be
Right.
like, no.
Exactly.
No. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I have some more thoughts.
Go ahead.
And you kind of talked about it a little bit. And I just want to say that it's not just white people that are silent. I mean, and white people have been silent, but Black people tend to be a little critical. And what I mean by that, Anisha already talked about it, that, you know, Phil did everything right. And I seen a lot of Black people, you know, if you didn't talk crazy to the police, if you didn't have an unregistered gun, if we ain't around here killing ourselves, then the police wouldn't kill us. That's a bunch of goddamn bullshit. Mm-hmm. Stop that. Stop that. Stop. That shit gets on my nerves so bad. Phil did everything right. He complied. And like he said everything he was, hey, I got a gun, it's registered, and he still got shot. Another thing I want to talk about is I saw people were criticizing his fiance, his girlfriend. Hell, are we clear? It doesn't matter. His significant other. About her posting on Facebook and her not comforting her daughter when Phil got shot. Everybody has an idea about what they would do if they were in that situation, but your ass ain't been in that damn situation. Shut your ass up. You don't know what you would do, period. Talking about she should have comforted her daughter. She shouldn't have put it on Facebook. If the shit went on Facebook, we wouldn't have known about it. I guarantee you the shit wouldn't have got to play on, you know, news stations across America about it. It just would have been another headline. So, I mean, all of these things about what she should have done, what she could have done, and all this other shit. Shut up. Be quiet. You don't know what you would have done in this situation. We already said, we just talked about it before we started recording this segment. I wouldn't have had the foresight to been like, put this on Facebook Live. I'm just thinking, I just want to hurry up and get out of this situation so I won't end up dead. Every time I get pulled over by the police, that's what I'm thinking in the back of my mind. I have severe anxiety, like, dude, I just want to get out of this situation so I can go on by my day. And she just was like, let me put this on Facebook Live. I don't know what's going to happen. And unfortunately, her significant other died. And you know what I'm saying? We're talking about it right now. So, you know, that's just two of the things that I wanted to bring up. Any other thoughts, questions? I mean, we got some more thoughts because we got some more shit to talk about that happened on Thursday. But any other thoughts?
I feel like this is a Mary J. Blige, that song 7 Days.
Dog, 7 0. No, this Tony Braxton.
Yeah, 7 whole days. But what's just like Monday and then
A
some
friend of
Tuesday.
mine.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Shit, it's on Thursday.
She's like Groundhog's Day. Just right.
I was like, okay.
It's been a long ass week, but we'll come back with our final segment and just stay tuned.
So, why are the white gangs out now at the park on Union?
What
in
white
Midtown
gangs?
with their Confederate flags out and shit?
They had a thing today at that park.
They celebrate. You follow Tootsie Time too?
Who was it?
It was on your YouTube.
Oh, it probably just happened to be up there.
Fuck them niggas.
Is that at the park? Confederate Park.
Is that the name of it?
Well, they call it something else now.
I'm finna get on.
They call it the South Bluffs. It's right across the street from where.
Oh, that's a different park that I'm thinking about.
I'm finna get on my next door and tell them white gangs target blacks. Brothers, you stay in time. Y'all think I'm bullshit? I'm finna do this shit right now.
Man, my next door, I like this one. The
I
couple
see
just
it.
said, we get it. You guys got fireworks. Can you stop popping it?
Yeah, they are at the big. Look at this shit here.
They out there. My next door. You don't have the next door for German? You don't. Your subdivision is not Germanshire, is it?
I don't know.
You don't know.
It might be.
Where do you stay all the way? You stay out for what? Kingsland?
Mhm.
Okay. I don't know. I just know that Kevin signed up and then he added me as a friend to sign. I was like, damn.
You don't want to be a part of it.
It's helpful. It's good. I know that the security, we might try and get us a security camera because people across the street got cameras. Now these people got a camera. But they be videotaping shit.
You mean around your house, cameras around?
Mm-hmm. They're not that expensive.
They're not. I was about to say they're cheap. Freaking really expensive. My dad installed them in my grandma's house. She got like a little flat screen by her bed.
How much was it to install though?
My dad did it for me.
Oh, okay.
He know that shit. But he got cameras all around the house, and like she can lay in her bed in the back of the house. And she got like a little flat screen right by her bed, look like a twin flat screen, and she can see like 6 cameras around her house. And so if somebody ring the doorbell, she can see at the front door.
Mm.
Before she get up and go up there.
Wow.
Out there.
It's gonna be a pimple. It looks red through the.
Oh, I got pop tabs.
Yeah, we gotta do the Dallas. I know we want to forget them.
Oh yeah,
I don't want to forget them. I was looking at their pictures. I felt so bad when I saw, especially when they showed the ones with the children. Like I feel bad anytime someone's life is gone, regardless of who they are.
Mm-hmm.
I think the point is that, let me save this for the segment, but I'll say it again. But I just think the point is that, that's the same thing with Phil, and that's the same thing with Alton.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just blown away that we could blow motherfuckers up now.
With a goddamn robot.
And that's my thing. You have disabled niggas. I have watched videos of niggas being disabled with AK-47 assault rifles, nigga. Now they done shot about 20 people. And you walk them at the bed, you blow this nigga up. To me, that says you got something to hide. To me, that says like something you don't want something.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not gonna know. Like this person, somebody said they didn't have a Facebook page, which
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that they. But how did they find his manifesto under his Facebook post? Because that's what NPR reported. If he didn't have a Facebook page, and people don't realize that Photoshop is like the best motherfucking thing ever. Mm-hmm. People are like, you see what he said, you see what he posted. I was like, nigga, you couldn't tell that's a fake account. Like y'all can't.
Something ain't right. Something in the milk ain't clean.
Milk ain't never been clean.
She called Agnes, nigga. Leave it alone.
Something in the milk ain't clean.
That's the name of the episode. Something in the milk ain't clean. Look at you, Bridget, coming out with them gems, dropping gems, dropping that Killer Mike knowledge. Go on, girl.
Something in the milk ain't clean.
So is that a Chicago style mix?
Yes.
Is it good?
It's good. It ain't like what's the name of that popcorn place in Chicago?
Garrett's.
Yeah, it ain't like Garrett's, but it'll do for $3.
It was filled up to the brim, though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I done killed this.
Good job. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, we've been eating this one that's in the grocery store, the HG or GH Cretons or whatever. It's good.
Where you get that from? Which grocery store?
Girl, it's so hard. It was at Kroger at first, then it was at Whole Foods. Couldn't find it either one. Someone said Fresh Market, so we'll try Fresh Market. Not this week though. I'm popcorn down.
Who doing Dallas?
Joe.
Oh shit.
I'm waiting on y'all.
Nigga, we just talking. You just tell us you ready. And we are back. I'm scared.
And we are back. You want me to sing you in?
No, we're good. So
Damn, shut me down, man. Okay.
we're gonna sing us back in, Bridget.
And we are back.
And you just heard the vocal stylings of Bridget. Thank you so much for bringing us back.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to have some fun over this, this past week, a little bit anyway. But on to More serious stuff. We're going to talk about the incident that happened in Dallas, where um, in the middle of people protesting, by all accounts, pretty peacefully, no major incidents. There was a shooter who killed 5 police officers, wounded several others. Um, a ton of misinformation at the time was going on as far as who the shooter was. Later on, the shooter was identified as Micah Johnson, who was a former Army reservist. They labeled him as a lone gunman. And it's also been revealed now that in the midst of the standoff, when they had him in the parking garage cornered, that the police deployed a robot and which had a bomb and basically blew the guy up. So I'm sure we'll talk about that too. Certainly, this leaves a lot of questions and not too many answers right now, but we're going to discuss it. So um, let's go around the table, I guess, with everybody's thoughts on this.